down to Chainlink's platform, down to Swift, back up. One full circle. Once the information comes back down, Swift Transaction Manager once again will trigger a payment initiation, or you will call it a payment request. For all the ISO 20022 buffs out there, this is the Pain 13 message that goes down.
But we are also taking innovation to the next level, and let's take CBDCs and digital money. We heard it as well from Commissioner McGuinness. There are over 100 countries now exploring CBDCs, but in that front, international cooperation is essential. So, well, very pleased. I mean, you may have seen it already, that last week we announced the results of groundbreaking experiments in that field, that show essentially that CBDC DLT networks can be interlinked, and not just with each other all over the world, but also with existing payment systems. And what this means is that as CBDCs will be rolled out, they can automatically, immediately scale and be used globally. That CBDC DLT networks can be interlinked, and not just with each other all over the world, but also with existing payment systems. And what this means is that as CBDCs will be rolled out, they can automatically, immediately scale and be used globally.
There will be legislation that passes. I won't be as predictive about which one. I think likelihood is that the stablecoin, clarity for stablecoin. I can't remember the name of the bill that has been going through the system in Washington, D.C. But I think we will see that in part because the U.S. Treasury wants it.
I doubt Tether may continue to grow, but I doubt it will have the same market share in 2 years, let's say.
Stable coins as a category, I think, have a role to play, particularly in domestic settlement. I haven't yet seen exactly where the U.S. is going to come out here. Other countries around the world clearly are doing more ahead of the U.S. and how they're kind of approaching central bank issued digital assets. What's confusing to me is why do we need 10 different US dollar stable coins or 20?
And as President Trump has directed, we are going to keep the US the dominant reserve currency in the world, and we will use stable coins to do that. I think stable coins create an exciting new payment rail, and importantly, it will be a source of demand for the US Treasury market. Because if you think about it, in terms of preference globally, would you rather have a private stablecoin that's backed by US Treasuries with US best practices regulation, or would you rather have an ECB or a PBOC, central bank digital currency, that if you write a meme, the ex post, the government can turn off? I think everyone is going to choose the U.S. private sector with U.S. regulation all day, every day.
Uber, Bitcoin, self-driving cars. Combine those three together and you have the self-owning taxi. A car that is a corporation that owns itself, pays for the car lease, the car insurance, and the gasoline from the revenues it makes, giving passengers a ride, and there's not a single human involved in that matter.
Type of money that can only be spent for a specific number of reasons. And some worry about that state control or whatever, but like in this particular narrow use case, you want to give checks to individuals to get the economy moving again.
Yeah.
So if you think of programmable money that expires if you don't spend it.
Welcome to the Cryptoteacher. And you know I come back with that video just to make you think.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And make sure you join the Patrons. If you're not a part of the Patrons, make sure you're hitting the Cash App. Also, go like and follow the TikTok. More videos to come. And we have ISO beginning next week at the same time. We're going to start seeing clarity and the stablecoin bill push. Trump has the big, beautiful bill passed. Now it's time to put that money to work. Remember, guys, it's all about the fourth industrial revolution. Whether robots, algorithms, and drones take the economy over, pay each other with crypto, and the sheep go inside the metaverse. Remember, crypto means hidden message, hidden meaning. These cryptos are for the machines. They can run the whole economy without a human involved. And with smart contracts, with these stable coins, they can tell you what, when, and how to buy, and you have 3 to 6 months to spend it, or poof, it's gone. And ISO and also Chainlink are so important because with ISO, you have the messaging system with interoperability. And then also Chainlink is bringing all these blockchains together for Swift. So Swift gets all this information, all this data. So therefore, there know you better than you know yourself. It's just one main brain. And you add in these supercomputers, these quantum computing, and you can just imagine what these systems will be able to do with this data. And remember, that's the reason why you have shopping carts, because all this data is being pulled from what you like. So now when you're looking at stores, they know exactly what to put on the shelves. When it comes to clothing, they'll know how many pieces to actually make instead of having a surplus. And just to give you a timeline, ISO has been around since the early 2000s, but the official start for cross-border payments was March of 2023. And the FedWire Fund Service was supposed to start March of this year and got moved back. But guys, we can clearly see how fast time flies. And all these institutions have until November of 2025 to implement it. So that's only 4 months away. And that's the reason why we see Trump and Congress pushing these NWO's agendas, because it's now time to build this new digital economy, and the sheep unfortunately have no clue. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, because he knows when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
It's pretty clear there's going to be a stable coin, which is going to be a fully dollar-backed, type of thing, which is no different than a money market fund with check access, is no different than a bank account, really. And so, if they make that legal, we'll go into that business. So you'll have a Bank of America coin and a U.S. dollar deposit, and we'll be able to move them back and forth because now it hasn't been legal for us to do it, but it's just then like another foreign currency. The question of what it's useful for is going to be interesting.
This is something we've been focused on digital currencies for a couple decades. This is something we've been focused on digital currencies for a couple decades.
One of many contributors. We are a registration authority, which means we do a lot of development work and maintenance work, but we don't own the standard. It's not restricted to the SWIFT network. There's a lot of market infrastructures that use ISO 20022 but not using the SWIFT network, and a lot of institutions also use ISO internally. So it's not restricted to the SWIFT network. It's associated with the XML syntax, but it's syntax agnostic. So we see a lot of developments around APIs that are ISO-based. We even see blockchain developments that are built on the ISO data dictionary. So whilst XML is used at the moment, predominantly it can be used in different technologies in the future as well. And really, just in a nutshell, it's a methodology for developing financial messaging standards, and it introduces this utopian world of universal financial messaging, which is what we're all striving for at the moment with both the cross-border migration and these domestic migrations that are happening in parallel.
Stablecoin legislation. Stablecoins have the ability to greatly increase the speed of payments and settlements and to make our economic system even more efficient. Stablecoins will also support the advancement of the U.S. dollar around the globe. If we allow other countries to fill the void before the United States is able to put together a robust stablecoin regime, we will regret it when the transactions around the world are done with currencies from geopolitical adversaries like China.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go, but clearly we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is, it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of a huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we could have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're getting it more right now with Bloomberg's Shonali Bassick. Shonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told its members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets.
Now, it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy, and when the dealers have to step in to save a treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence. And
Cryptoteacher and the New World Order book, plus the 3 Kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get on stocks, the Xrp, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing, they were still getting that free money. What are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID-33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.